What do you miss most
Well,
about Lewis? About the old Lewis been you investigated with before?
Well, I don't know. We were outside of the paranormal. We were really good friends. We talked every single day, once or twice a day. Uh, and talked about things that we wanted to do. We had, dreams of going out of state, investigating different places, well-known places. Uh, but like I said, we were really close friends outside of the paranormal. We knew a lot about each other. We went through a lot of stuff together. Uh, that was probably, the only thing, that and maybe I could say that, maybe I miss is the great times that we had. We had a lot of good times together. We had a lot of gatherings that we'd put together at the Queen Mary with a lot of our friends. That was a lot of fun. That's one thing I miss sometimes. And I remember that all the good times that we had with a lot of our friends.
I have a question. Why was Erin kicked out of your team?
She was kicked out by Lewis because she decided to. She was her and Kirsten, I believe, and I don't know who else at the time. Can't remember. Decided. I think the Paranormal Housewives originally started as a meetup group, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron, you can correct me. But that's all it was going to be. Was basically Aaron and Kirsten were going to do some investigating on their own, which there's nothing wrong with that. I thought there was nothing wrong with that. When Lewis got wind of that, he got really upset that they decided to investigate on their own and work together with other people, and he felt betrayed. He felt that they just left his group without telling him. When Aaron was trying to explain to him that, hey, listen, we're not trying to leave. We're just trying to do some investigations on our own. Obviously she lives, far away. She lives in Orange County, away from us, and she wasn't able to make a lot of our investigations, which is understandable. So she decided to do some things down in Orange County and meet some people down there, which is, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But Lewis took offense to that and felt that she was felt that she was betraying us and starting his own team. He basically just assumed that she was just leaving without saying goodbye or anything like that, and he decided to hold a grudge against her for that and kick her off the team for that.
Now, did he expect you not to talk to them not to talk to her because of that?
He did. In fact, I remember talking to Aaron shortly after that, and and I talked to Aaron, and she was very upset that Peter was. I'm sorry, not Peter. Lewis was acting this way. She was very upset that Lewis was acting this way, and I was trying to talk to her and say, hey, you know what? Let me talk to him and find out what's going on, why he's acting this way, because obviously, you're not leaving our team. You're doing investigations on your own, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or even joining a meetup. Lewis was part of several meetup groups in the San Fernando Valley, several, and there was nothing wrong with that. I didn't feel offended by that. He went on investigations with other people. That didn't bother me. So why should that be different for Aaron or anybody else that wanted to do that? So I told Aaron, I said, well, let me talk to him and see why he's acting this way. I obviously don't feel that way. So when I did try to talk to him, he was upset at me first of all for talking to Aaron. And I had told him, I said, well, this is what I told Aaron. I told her I was going to talk to you about this, and find out why you're upset. And he jumped all over my case, and said, you should be upset yourself. You should feel betrayed that she's leaving the team, and that's not right. And she could have at least told us that she's leaving our team. I said, Lewis, I said, she's not trying to leave our team. She's just wanting to do some investigations, or joining a meetup group. I said, there's nothing wrong with that. And he got mad at me for that. And in fact, I don't think we talked for a couple of days after that, because
Wow.
he was really upset at me for that. And, And I kept telling him, I said, well, I'm sorry, I don't feel that way. I don't understand. I don't understand why you feel that way.
Wow. Is anybody in the room want to ask Frank a question, either on the chat room or on camera? Hello?
When did Lewis become the almighty and the paranormal? I think that happened when we started having all these gatherings at the Queen Mary, and we started getting a lot of people together. One of the cool things about the paranormal conferences was that everybody got a chance to get together. And shortly after one of the Darkness radio events aboard the Queen Mary, I would say about a month after, I had the idea to maybe have a dinner, and a little party at the Queen Mary, and just invite everybody that had gone to the conference, and because there's so far in between, when we get a chance to get together. So, I said, hey, it was my idea. I said, hey, Lewis, I said, let's have a gathering and just invite people to see who shows up, and we'll get some liquor, and we'll invite people over, we just investigate and just hang out, and from there it just started. After that, we found out that somebody was having a birthday or something like that, we started setting up parties at the Queen Mary, getting everybody together. So I think that's where he felt that he was bringing people together, that he was the founder, or that he created this paranormal community from that point on.
Okay, there's a question in the room for you and Don. People want to know about the Victorian Church.
That was recently. Don and I wanted to get away for her birthday, and we went out to Ventura to the Victorian Rose Inn, which is a bed and breakfast inn. It's a very nice place. It's a beautiful old church that was built in the late 1800s and was converted several years ago into a bed and breakfast inn. Has a lot of history to it and has a couple ghost stories to it. So we stayed out there for the weekend, and I think Dawn had captured a anomaly on her camera within an hour that we were there. But we weren't there to investigate or do anything like that. We just kind of wanted to get away, just the two of us, and do some wine tasting and things like that, and around Ventura, and just stay at a nice old bed and breakfast.
We always end up investigating, no matter what. Always end up investigating. We take our equipment, and whenever we say we're not going to do it, we always end up doing it. So, but it was a really, really nice place.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Okay, is there any more questions? Have you been to Barstow, a ghost town near Barstow, Frank or Don?
Barstow? No, I haven't.
Okay. Does anybody have any more questions?
Is there many places in Palmdale? Is there many places
There's
in Palmdale?
Known places in Palmdale, to investigate. There's a couple old cemeteries nearby where I live. In fact, the old settlers of Palmdale from the 1800s are buried there. There's a lot of unmarked graves, and that's really it. There's a couple stories about a lake nearby that has some kind of creature in it, and one of the businesses in Lancaster that has some activity. I never had a chance to investigate those places other than the cemeteries that Don and I and Paul and Annie from Afterlife Investigations got to investigate. So, and we did capture actually some really cool EVPs there. Other than that, there's really nothing out here other than desert.
And Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart is a happening place up here in Palmdale.
That'll probably have a lot of activity. Okay, I am completely out of questions. If anybody else has any in the room, say so now. Anyone want to come on camera, ask Frank a question directly? Let us know. Don, you have any other questions? All right, Nolan has a question for you, Frank. How does Frank get so sexy?
I don't know. You can ask Dom that question.
He showers and he washes his hair and he puts on sexy clothes and all that stuff.
Other things that you can't mention.
Yeah, and other things I can't mention.
And why did Nolan post that with pink? I'm just wondering. Patricia Herrera says, what equipment do you use the most? I'm assuming that's for investigating.
I would say the digital voice recorder, along with a Sony microphone, external mic. That's really it. You know, going back to Camarillo, you know, we always travel light there because there is a police presence there. You can't really go in there carrying bag loads or equipment cases full of equipment. So we try to travel light there and just take a flashlight, a digital recorder, maybe a digital camera, and that's really it. And I've gotten used to that, you know, just using that type of equipment. So really, that's just my own preference, is just to use a digital recorder.
Have you ever been stopped at Camarillo?
We have. And it's the only time I can think of that we were stopped was when we were there with a team that we invited several years ago. I think Don can help me with this. I think it's West Coast Paranormal. Some idiot named Troy Tackett.
Oh yeah, we found out when me and Frank met. There was, among other things, there was something that we did have in common. Was we used to hang out and investigate with this team called West Coast Paranormal Research Society. Frank, what year was it that you hung out with him?
Let me see. We didn't really hang out, but I think it was one or two investigations. I want to say it was 2005, maybe.
Okay, so I met him probably in 2006, and his name is Troy Tackett. And I don't even know what to say about this person, other than go on their website and look yourself, because it's hilarious. It's very hilarious, and it's like it's for a whole different other show. But that was one thing that me and Frank had in common, was that we talked to this so-called investigator. He's not even an investigator. Everything that's on his website is totally false. So.
Right. I'll tell you what happened that night. We invited Troy Tackett and a couple of his members. And, you know, first of all, for those of you that have been to Camarillo, you know, you have to be very stealthy-like when you get to Camarillo and walk across the campus really quick. You know, try to avoid being seen because there's a heavy police presence there at times. We had told this to Troy and said, hey guys, once we get out of the car, we have to move pretty quickly to get into the campus because we really don't want to be seen. You know, halfway through the campus, which is on the main street that separates the parking lot from the campuses, they decided to take a smoking break in between, and I believe we're seen by the police. While we were almost halfway into the campus, we looked back and we saw them smoking in the middle of the street. And you know, and we were like, guys, what are you guys doing? We just didn't we just say that we have to move very quickly, you know, and try not to be seen here. And you know, they went ahead and finished their cigarette, and we as we were going in one of the buildings, in fact, I was waiting for Paul, our other member at the time, to show up. So I decided to wait outside. Thank God that we had radios. And I kept one radio, I gave Lewis another radio, and I said, hey guys, I'm going to stay out here and wait for Paul to show up, and you guys go ahead. Well, apparently the police were already onto us because of what happened, and they followed Paul in, and decided, you know, when Paul was getting close to the building, they rolled up on us with their canine dog, and you know, caught us there.
Oh, this sucks. Right in the middle of the story.
Had this meltdown and said that one of the Indians took over his body and they had to carry him out of the mission and stuff. So yeah. And then one time we were at I believe it was 29 Palms. We were there and we were doing an investigation. He also had another episode and said that somebody took over his body and made us record him for an hour while he starts talking all this mumbo jumbo, like in tongues and stuff, which he was clearly making up, and then like making himself like look really sick and stuff like that. So
wow.
Yeah, so he's crazy like that. And Nolan, yes, he does have a band, and he's all into that White Snake and all that hair band kind of music. And when I would hang out with his crew, he made us go and watch him play. So
that must have been fun.
Okay. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. He claims that he's been investigating the paranormal for... There's another guy that claims he's investigating for a long time, 25, 30 years or something like that. When I first met him in, I think it was, like I said, 2005, that was actually his first or second time out investigating.
Wow.
Yeah. God, I think we need a show with about paranormal posers. I think that that show needs to come up soon.
That'll be another full show, I'm pretty sure. So I think we go ahead. Do you have another question, Don?
No, I was thinking that maybe we can talk about our next show, which we're not going to have a show next week. We'll have one the week after, but it's going to be a real fun show. It's very I don't know, how can you explain it, Wayne?
It's going to be the National Enquirer's version of the paranormal. but everything we'll say is true. There's a lot of drama, a lot of how can you say it other than drama? This is drama on top of drama. A drama sandwich. So yeah,
and hopefully Kaiho will come to the next show.
I think I could persuade him to come.
Actually, Terry, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna create drama. We are gonna try to squash this drama. We're gonna attack it just right here and there, and we're gonna bring out some videos that were made recently. Well, not recently, but a few months ago, and we're just gonna attack everything. We're gonna put out there the people that do start the drama. That way, everybody knows to stay away from them. Okay, because we don't conjure up drama. We answer to it. If somebody's going to say something to us, or if somebody's going to make accusations about us, we're going to answer it. So basically, in a couple weeks, if you want to come in and talk about it with us, that's what we're going to talk about.
Sounds like a great show. I'll be here too.
Me too.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and we will see you in a couple weeks.